Mariah kept coming up with song titles that she thought I would sound good singing. And then she suggested Endless Love, and she says, ooh, and I'll sing it with her.
I want to share all my love.
So I guess it was my idea, if Luther said it was. But I couldn't have been happier because I was such a fan of his. And Luther being one of the greatest vocalists is something that I really was inspired by.
Wow, welcome back. That was a clip of Luther Vandross, Mariah Carey sharing the backstory behind the hit song Endless Love from the incredible new documentary. It's called Luther, Never Too Much. It is in theaters now. We are back with Marcus Miller, Luther's longtime co-producer, and the director of the film, Dawn Porter, and lifelong friend, musical collaborator featured in the documentary, singer Fonzi Thornton. Before we went to the break, Fonzi, you talked about the early roots of the group, and one of the things that the documentary reveals, the group on Sesame Street. This is, look at this! On Sesame Workshop back then. But you also, again, see the true artistry of Luther Vandross. Yes. Even that famous wave that we just talked about in his voice, all of it was strategic.
Yes, 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 yes. We were standing backstage at the Apollo Theater with Listen, My Brother, and Nat Adderley Jr. was 13 years old. He said, that guy there is going to be my musical director today. Nat is still the musical director. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So Luther was very intentional.
And Marcus, what we see in the doc is other artists, white, black, Latino, Asian, were influenced. David Bowie, because, you know, you see David Bowie being influenced by Luther. Luther was a backup singer for David Bowie. I was stunned by some of our favorite commercials. It was Luther's voice.
Right.
He made a lot of money just doing the jingles. You talked about it in the documentary.
I used to say, hey, man, take me to your mailbox. I want to see the checks fall out.
All the jingles that we sing. Dawn, you know, because you are great at what you do, you tell the 360 view of Luther, including the heartbreaking parts of his life. The weight, the up and down weight, which became a part of what people associated with him. And then in the documentary, he reveals in his own words, singing the most beautiful love songs we've ever heard, but never having his true love. I want to play a clip when he was asked about his private life. Let's play it.
A lot of people make a big deal out of your weight. Does it bother you?
Yeah, it's bothersome right now that you're asking me. It's bothersome because I don't enjoy talking about it a lot. You know, my record company, J Records, used to always insist, oh, you gotta, because I used to say, I don't want to talk about that. I don't really want to speak on that. You know, that's a personal struggle. And they would always say, yeah, but it's like a human interest story and everybody wants to talk about it. And I'm saying, yeah, but what if I talk about it and gain any of it back? You know, then I have to carry that type of paranoia.
In the documentary, there's a lot of conversation about two struggles specifically. Luther's struggle with weight and his personal private life, and which included his sexuality. How was that to approach those two things through the lens of 2025 versus 20 years ago?
You know, one of the big responsibilities you have is to tell a true, full story. But then you also have the person has passed. And so where are, you know, when I think about what choice means you respect somebody's choice. And Fonzi really helped me with this. And, you know, I watched hundreds of hours of Luther's interviews and a lot of like the best parts you see in the film. And he was so clear. He wanted his private life to be private. And I thought, that's what we respect.
I love that. I love that. And in the documentary, you see, Fonzi, he even handled the challenging things with humor, the weight, because if you were around at that time, there were always these things of which Luther did you like, you know, because of his weight. But he approached it with humor, even though it was painful.
And also the brilliance of this man, too, is that, again, he was growing up with and making music with people that did not have the same issues that he had. So again, you know, what is it like to come to a TV interview when you have a popular song and they're asking you about your weight? He was the only one amongst us who was dealing with that, and he was very valiant and he persevered. And that's the one thing, you know, we have to respect him for that. And again, we have to understand, that we were raised during a time when privacy was the bottom line. Our mother used to say, what goes on in this house stays in this house. You know what I'm saying? So in the days of social media, it's very different, but a lot of things are not your business, so stay out of it.
Yeah, I love it. I agree. Before I let you go, I did have to talk about, last year we had Richard Marx on. He performed Luther's Grammy-winning song, Dance with My Father. It was our Father's Day show. That song was released just before Luther's stroke. Yeah. And in the documentary, Marcus, you say how devastatingly ironic it is that the song is #1 on the pop charts, and he can't appreciate it at the time. Yeah. He was in and out of a coma. His death left a longing. And I do believe that song, I believe this documentary fills some of that for his true fans that are all ages today.
Absolutely. You know, Luther, the things that he wanted really badly, really passionately, and he never made any bones about it. I want to win a Grammy, you know, which he eventually did, and the way Don portrays that is fantastic. And he wanted a #1 record. And it just kills me, it kills all of us that he finally got it and wasn't able to fully appreciate it because he was coming in and out of a, of a coma, actually. So it was just heartbreaking, but his life it's a movie.
Yeah.
And that movie has been done, so
it has
it's
been
wonderful.
done to perfection, And this is I love it. I'll tell you what. I'm again gonna say it. If you watch nothing, watch this with the entire family. It is an inspiring story of loving the life that you've been given, but taking it all the way to the greatest heights, beyond what he imagined. It is never too much. The Luther Vandross documentary, Don, Fonzi, Marcus. It is available for streaming on CNN January 1st. I'll be right in front of my TV with the rest of you